Hi everyone, McBeard here, back with another deck guide video for you as I continue to revisit my favorite Gwent decks of all time before Homecoming comes along and turns everything upside down. So, we're going to talk about Ethna, previously Francesca, but we're going to talk about Mulligan Dash, which is one of my favorite decks. So, we're going to talk about that. But first, I want to just quickly tell you, Commander's Horn Podcast episode 93 recorded last week had Pal Berja on the podcast. Was really interesting. Gwent Open number 7 coming up on the 13th and 14th of October as we prepare for Homecoming as the countdown continues. But let's talk about this deck right here, Mulligan Dash. So this is an Ethna-focused deck. Previous videos, and I've had about 2, focused on Francesca as the leader. So what Francesca was able to do for me, my favorite combo for Francesca, is being able to put Hattori in the hand, which puts Hattori at 5, and then Hattori can res a Riot Officer, and so you can get a late game swap of something like Geralt of Rivia, or perhaps a very boosted, strengthened Ciri Dash. Now, that was fine, but I felt like the Francesca model was kind of topped out on what it could do. When you put Ethna as the leader, I feel like you have a lot more reach potential, as far as what you're able to do inside your deck and outside of your deck. Francesca's good, and I think that a combo with Hattori is one of the better things that she can do, and you can do some really nasty Pavko Gale things as well with Francesca. But Ethna and Last Wish, specifically Mandrake in some matchups, and Reconnaissance in a pinch, Ethna just shines as the leader here. Yes, you could use Brewer, but using Mandrake twice is kind of important for the meta, because there are a lot of situations where one Mandrake just isn't enough to stop the cheese. Let's talk about this deck though. So we'll start off with the bronzes, because the bronzes are more or less set for me. But I'll tell you, we played a couple of games. We played 2 variations of this today on stream. You can go either way. 2 Elven Mercs, 3 Recon. This is to save you stress, because when you have 3 Elven Mercs and 3 Recons, and you're not playing Francesca, and you're not playing as many swap cards as I previously have run, sometimes you'll just end up with bricked elves. Not good. Bricked elven mercenaries, that is. So 3 recons and 2 elves is a bit more comfortable for me. Definitely makes the deck a lot less bricky. Blue Mountain Elites, they come out from the first reconnaissance usually. So you want to do that just because you're going to go for a hyper thin. And I was always using Blue Mountain Elites because I always wanted to play with Riot Vanguards and things that really cared about elves. But instead of doing that, I thought I would do things that care about this particular elf movement. So the Dwarven Mercenaries came in. I think the Dwarven Mercenaries generally, as a 14-point play in round 1, give you the tempo you need plus save you from weather, and they can do some other pretty nasty stuff too because movement is important. Finally, the Riot Officers are the massive tempo of this deck. When you mulligan Geralt of Rivia, you will get a 20-point Riot Officer, and that is nothing to joke about. Geralt Rivia, you would joke about it as it is a starter card. Not a lot of people run this, but a 15-point body is as big as it gets, and with Scoia'tael and the Riot Officers is pretty nice. So playing Riot Officer into Geralt of Rivia, 20-point bronze, not bad. Playing Ciri Dash is also fine, but you want to play Ciri Dash on the board as many times as possible. Probably not going to get locked. Last bronze here is a single Elven Scout. Now this works with Elias, and this works with fixing your hand. However, I have found more success with running a single Dryad Brigade, and that is if you are forgetting the 9-point Weather Clear that also moves. So I have found more success with this. I think Elven Scout is great if you're running an Elias build, but the second build I ran today was not an Elias build. I'll tell you right now, I don't recommend Elias or Sarah, but the deck still performed well with these cards. Later on, I ran Barkley Elves and something else to complement that, and I changed the Elven Scout for the Bride Brigade. Mandrake, very good with Ethna. Last Wish, very good with Ethna. Very good for finding your big cards like Geralt later on, Ciri Dash later on when you've already mulliganed them away. Ida, because Weather Clear and Lightning and Weather is just one of the best things in the world. Really hard not to run the Mage right now. Eilerin, very easy to get 5 Elves on the board unless you get immediately passed on after playing your first Elven Mercenary and Blue Mountain Elite. It's just super hard to not get this card out, so I run it because it's thinning and it's tempo. Elias and Sarah, so these two go together. I don't recommend them. You're usually going to play Elias for 14 because a single swap, even in the opening mulligan, gets him at 14. A second swap, I'm talking about the swap and draw. So the swap and draw then gets him to 18. So if you do 2 swaps and draws, you get him at 18, and that's pretty good. But honestly, he's too draw dependent, and he's a bad top deck. And also, Sarah doesn't always swap him, especially if you're pulling Eilerin out of your deck with the elves, pulling Last Wish out of your deck, pulling Mandrake out of the deck. I mean, I'm not running anything that pulls these things like Vesemir, but I find that if I have any of these silvers in my hand, I definitely want to keep them. So I don't want to use Sarah to swap them out. Elias is the only one I want to swap out, and if it's not in my hand, Sarah looks bad. Don't recommend Sarah and Elias, but for the reasons of this gameplay, you're going to see it. Finally, Geralt, Ciri, these guys do work for you in being big bodies for swaps, and later on you pull it out with Royal Decree, 17 points on Geralt of Rivia, 20 plus points usually on Ciri Dash. Royal Decree early on to get Ciri Dash out of the deck and into the graveyard and back into the deck, and then you see her later on for swaps. So Royal Decree good at any time in the game. Triss Telekinesis to get that extra reconnaissance. This is probably flex. I like Triss right now. But later on, I definitely did remove these for Barkley, and I can't remember the other silver that I used. It was actually Kieran for the lock, but also for the movement. The thing is, locks are unexpected things. Don't sleep on locks right now. They're actually pretty good. But anyway, this deck in general, the general spirit of this deck in Mulligan Ciri Dash is alive and well. We played a bit today. We had a great time. Check out the gameplay, and I'll see you tomorrow, my friends. What's going on?
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
Bustled.
There will be no negotiation.
Sam Eriks 619 with the observation. We're gonna keep Mandrake in our hand because boy, we've needed it. We'll drop this off so we get it from a recon. Drop this off. We're looking for an Elven Merc. We didn't find it. And we got that blue-ish coin. I think we have to Last Wish to lead. Well, we can also lead off with Ciri.
Oh ho, I sense trouble.
It's just no one really runs locks. Like if Ciri ever gets locked in this series, then there you go, right?
The time of the white frost and white light is nigh.
If Ciri gets locked this series, then we know that it's not safe to play Ciri Dash. We locked a Ciri Dash the other day. I'm going to find an Elven Scout or a Blue Mountain Elite from this, I think, but I really want to find one. Yeah, this is what I wanted. Mercenary, sorry.
Everything all right?
Yeah.
I'll feed you.
Give me some of that Eilerin. They only have locks and Imler attacks? It's true, right? You always get locked? Really? I mean, I don't see a lot of locks in this game, period.
Onward, sons of Nilfgaard!
Whoa! This combo here, respect.
Now we must stick
What the
together.
hell is that? Hey, I've been experimenting with the End-Crate Marauders and Bran.
It hurts him.
Wow, this is like a super thin... Man, oh man, the Mandrake's so important. Mandrake's gonna be clutch again, dudes. I again have no silver cards to swap for Elias, like I drew into all my silvers. I mean, I'm not upset, am I? No. Three officers in the deck right now. I think I gotta go looking with Ethna here, unfortunately. But I mean, there's no way else around.
There will be no negotiation.
This was dumb. I think I should have... I'll take the officer, right? No, the officer's fine here.
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vat.
But we'll do it with... We'll grab Elias because I feel like I only need this much. And I get 4 points out of that long-term carryover kind of situation, so... We'll do it like that. This recon's a good pickup.
Asking me for help. Now that's smart.
I mean, if we can just hang with this dude, we might be okay. Mandrake is going to be obviously huge. The fact that he wasn't able to get 2 Albas out was kind of massive. If this is another Alba... Oh, cool. Sentry. This is a cool deck that this guy's playing, I gotta say. I do like it. I can't get rid of the Mandrake to pick up Elias again, so we're not going to do that. The officers are kind of important later, so I'm going to use the scout here.
You should not have come here.
Dwarf for a dwarf, sure.
Alba!
Know if anyone's got any hooch left.
Currently seeking hooch. Crossing fingers for Thronebreaker trailer tomorrow. Me too, man. Watch Flake, what's going on? McBean, do you at work right now? Nah, my sub alerts aren't still going off, and I checked it. I checked it, dudes. It's like why I didn't start at 10. Because I was checking this, and it's not working? Like, watch. I'm going to go test sub. That's weird. So why doesn't Flake sub come in? Flake subbing for 11 months in a row.
Monster combo!
Thanks, Flake. I really wish I could figure out what was going on with my alerts. The testing all works, but the actual alerts are not working. Let's just end this. This guy's suffering. And if he plays, we pass. I'm not committing something like that without getting a card out of it, in my opinion. It's okay, we get to be boyfriends this Saturday? Yeah, 401 games, my man, 401 games. Yeah, it wasn't working yesterday either. I mean, I just don't know. I just don't know. Close, but not close enough. Maybe this is what he wanted all along. But I was on blue coin, right? Ooh. Yeah, I mean, this is what when they released Midwinter update, this is what I thought the Slave Infantry deck could potentially look like using the Albas as well. The Albas never made the cut competitively, and the Pikemen definitely don't cut anywhere. But, you know, now we're up a card, and we have pure gas. Gasolina. Sarah's not gonna... Actually, Sarah's good here. I'll play Sarah on the pass here, and I think it will be. So we play Sarah to get Siri Dash in hand. We don't want Siri Dash in hand. What do we want in hand? Siri Dash never grew? I played Siri Dash once, right? I play Siri Dash here is what I do. To get that extra buff on it.
You talked enough.
So now I just got to navigate all these bronzes in my deck. Experimenting with Croc into Germain with Butterfly. I experimented with Croc into Skiala with a bunch of low units. This is good with the Recon. Very, 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 very good. Okay, my friends. Let's see what we can do here. I think I'm looking for all the swaps, but I'll take them. I mean, I don't think I take the Merc ever. I think the Merc is just something I'm probably going to play from hand after swapping. But where do we lead off? Do we lead off with Sarah into Triss? Because that's a card. Triss is a card I want to get back on the swap. And I get Siri Dash in hand. And then that makes for both the officers that I'm going to play to be massive.
Do you want to tickle me?
Massive cards.
The storm is coming. Let's enjoy the weather while we still can.
Blood and neck ends. Similian Vat.
Still one more officer we could get from Triss, but we might not draw Triss, which means that the best thing we could get is an officer, in which case we would want Geralt in hand. Or Siri Dash in hand, but I'm playing the officer now, right? So... every card is good. It really is good either way. I don't see... I'm trying to think of why I wouldn't just take the 17 here. There's the other officer, so that officer's going to get me 20 from Geralt. And then we're going to pick up one of these cards, the Dwarven Mercenary being the worst card. Gonna get a sentry out from this, I guess. Not too shabby.
Riot!
Yum, yum.
I shall do what I must.
Uh-oh. I mean, we could lose this game.
Sons of Nilfgaard!
Just great.
Know if anyone's got any hooch left.
We have a pretty good point lead, though. Ooh, the Witchers! Oh, is 24 points going to be enough, my friends?
I do what I must.
You best yield now.
You throwing a Mandrake Calvet? Yeah, you know what? Mandrake Calvet is legit again. I don't think anybody plays around that anymore. That's a sweet ending right there. Now, that guy was prepared to go the distance. Shit, that was awesome. That was a really cool deck. Tip of the cap to that guy's deck. It was a really cool deck with Albas in it. I loved it. There you have it, folks. Mulligan Dash. If you like the content, you want to see more stuff coming up from me, coming up from Homecoming as well, from your boy McBee, hit that sub button, hit that like button, hit that notification button so you can see more stuff coming up, more videos tomorrow. I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.